Hello and welcome back to Songs of Syx. I am the Fiend, and here we are continuing our Amevian city. We are playing as strictly the Amevians, in case you're wondering and you haven't been following along. The challenge is to make an Amevian-based city using no mercenary armies, and building our own armies, our own supplies, and beating up the world map using our brains, using what we have given to us by the Lord of Authority. Here we are worshipping Aturi, whatever you want to call it. And so far we're doing pretty good. We have roughly 500 total Amevians. We need more. We need to get these Amevian hatcheries expanded. And I think what I want to do is potentially move them away from this area and put them somewhere over here and get them to line up nicely. So I'm going to spend half the episode focused on getting the hatchery situation solved. Now that we're creating our own fabric, if I go all the way to the half of the city, we're creating our own fabric. That's good, so we can keep up with that. And I'm actually going to turn that off for now so that they're using leather. And I'm going to turn this guy over to leather as well, making clothing. So we're going to have two different guys actually, but we'll turn this one off for now because since this one's so close, he'd probably be smarter and best used over here like that. So we'll put those 8 or whatever 10 guys over here, and they're gonna start working and making clothes out of the leather that we're getting. We have a ton of cotton for right now, so I'll probably make another cotton farm or two. We have to expand our agricultural zone significantly, and this area here is designated for pumps. I'll probably not be able to fit. Let's see if I can. In case you're wondering, you can use them on a groundwater of 17% like that, but it would be horribly inefficient, so same here, it wouldn't be worthwhile. The closest place I can put them is over here. So anything in here is go ahead. I can put expansions to the herb farms, which I probably will put more herb farm in here. I have a lot of work to do, but the primary goals are herbs to get drinks. Oh, the herbs aren't for the drinks. They're for rations. But we also need to get drinks. We have fruit coming in soon. So potentially we'll be using fruit. We may also harvest grain. Ideally, if we can capture a world map region like one of these guys, I think he's temperate. He's more warm than he is temperate. So if we could get maybe up here. Yeah, these guys are temperate. They definitely would make us really good amounts of fruit. That's pretty far though. Everyone in this region is not going to make us anything in terms of fruit or production. They're all in the hot regions, so they're not going to have much in the way of actual temperate climate objects like fruit, vegetables, grain. Down here though, we'll get lots of fish. So if we took out Magician, if I, for example, said today's the day I'm going to take out Magician, we definitely would need... I think I could do it. But what's going to happen is we're going to take them out and we're going to lose a good trade partner. And that is something that I have to cope with along the line. Because if I look at the factions here, Magician, he sells things for a relatively good price. 656 for that. If I look at this guy, he's going to have it for 700. 632. So I think with Korkensky, we might have to sacrifice our boy 94, 100. Okay, so Korkensky seems to like us a little more. How much does he want for trade? 1,000. Okay, well, why don't we do this? I'll give him some free resources. And we'll have the trade option up there. Try to get him happier with us in general. Send him some stuff like that. We don't need opiates. I don't want to send cotton because that's valuable. Send some of the livestock that we have. Meat. And a few extra warhammers. Stuff like that. Just to boost our happiness with him. Something like that. So that'll boost us up to 119. That should get his goods down If I remember, I was looking at alcohol, it was 94. Now it's at 91. The tariff is adding a total of 20 because of the distance from Korkensky to us. If I look, where is Korkensky? He is over here. No, that's not him. It's this guy right here. He's really not that far. And Novaster, he took over Novaster, which sucks. But what I plan to do, and now that we've got that going, is we can actually get some army supply depots here. And I'll put them... Let's see. One. Okay, so that's not going to line up right. I think that works perfect. Alright, so we're going to do it like that. So this one will be for brews. This one will be for rations. This one will be for clothes, leather armor, and then we'll have two more. One for warhammers and one for odd stuff that I need to put in there eventually. They're going to get to work on that, and I'm going to focus up training a few more guys just in these groups, or maybe even make them better trained. Who knows? I definitely need more conscript space, so I'm going to double this up here. Actually, smarter, I always forget to use copy, and I think that in this instance, copy would be great. We'll just do that, copy. They're going to make the same training ground over here the exact same way, and it only takes about 50 furniture, which is perfect. And you can see I'm not upgrading my warehouses. Most of them don't require it. It's not necessary yet. But eventually, I'd like to get that going. So that's 240, and these guys have... Yep, perfect. It's looking good, though. It's looking good. I'm excited for the conquest. I think I need to take out Magician. I have to. They have no army. They have nothing. They're literally just one guy, and they have 0 soldiers. They will have a defending garrison, but assuming that my guys are better trained and actually have weapons, we should win. And if there's more of them than us, I will retreat. I'm not afraid to do that. Regardless, I will catch you guys in a moment. Alright, so we've made it. The Battle of Brackenburg. 95 Amevians versus 97, I believe, Crotonians. Alright, here we are. Our boys, they've got 2 leather armor on and 1 warhammer pop. And they're decently well trained, 1.3 melee training. And they have very high morale at 7.1. These guys have 3.7 morale, 2 leather armor, and half the training, 0.5 offensive skill. Looks like both of them. The way we win this, through sheer force. We're gonna hit them as hard as we possibly can, and hope that they don't fucking fight back. If we can make them break their formation, that is the ideal. Better to cause them to surrender. Here we go, the first battle of the game! Our Amevians are immediately into good position here. Pausing so that I can get a better attack. And here they come. Perfect envelopment. Get in from behind. Get in there. And they flee! Flee the battle, you cowards! You Crotonian crustaceans! You pig fuckers! Die! Not a single man was lost. Not a single Amevian will die in this campaign here. They will all make it home to their loving female Amevians, I think. Awesome. We got 372 leather armor. We also leather armors. And we've got 18 Crotonian captives. There is another battle, though. As there's only 23 of them, these are the remaining guys who want to fight me. There probably will be more if I don't kill them all right here. We're going to hit them with the old smush. The sandwich. This is going to be a fun one. I have never tried this tactic in combat. So here we go. You, come here. You. Come here. You're going to line up like that. In case you didn't know, by the way, you can hold space to see the positions that guys are going to move to. I think that's true in Total War as well. Smush them. Oh god, the fleeing. They're already fleeing. Oh man, they aren't even gonna stand and fight. Flee! Yes, look at it. The babies. They're being made. So much going on. So much has happened in such a short period of time. We only have about 100 more Amevians. That's due to the slow rate of rebirth, but we have 80 children currently in the works, turning into grown Amevians. For some reason, they are extremely challenging to keep happy. Their food, I think that there may be a slight bug or something, because the only thing they're allowed to eat is fish, fruit, and eggs, and that's the only thing I'm producing in the city, and somehow they're constantly unhappy about their food preferences. They literally had full options, and they still chose not to. I think that's just them being assholes. We have a significant change to a few other things, like our world map. So we have a region. This is sending us fish. They are rapidly growing towards 1.2k, and they'll be able to upgrade into the town hall, which is great. Brackenberg will be the backbone of our society, and they're sending... Oh, that's our trade. That's someone else's trade, I think. They're going to be sending fish along this route here. I think they'll have to go over through Korketsky, over that, and into here. That's probably how they'll do it, because they wouldn't go all the way around like that. Although, I think they can go through that road there. I'm not sure. Regardless, we captured them. We sent our personal army over there, and if you look at them now, they have 88% experience on this guy and 92% experience on this guy, buffing their offensive capability and defensive capability by 0.6. So that popped it up a lot. This guy had 0.5, 0.6. Because if this guy, he was to train up to where their training is at 70%, he would only be at 1.6 or so for his offensive and defensive skill. That basically, from my understanding, is how much damage they can do with the weapon times that. So if they're using a pierce damage weapon or a blunt weapon, that plus this will times to make a damage output. I'm not quite sure how the damage works, but from my understanding, if they're doing 2.2, if the guy has 1 health, it should take him many hits, probably a couple, or 4 or 5 hits before he kills him. If not one singular hit. It might be a single hit. I don't know. But it would be kind of odd, because most of the characters can have a 1.6 or whatever. Oh, that's over here. 1.6 damage. So I don't believe that their health is equivalent to the damage that's coming at them. Regardless, that weird stuff aside, we did a bunch on the city scale. We have not touched this half of the city, really. I expanded herb farms. So we have an herb farm that goes along these canals here. All the pumps are in here. This will definitely have to get expanded. I don't think this will keep the entire area happy. I'll probably remove this little bit here and have more canals going through here, because I really like this design. Each one of these fruit orchards, these little ones, create about 50 fruits per year. This guy is creating 109. It's double the length. So this, and this is about 400 fruit per year. Not a lot, not a ton. Yeah, 416 fruit, 327. That was quick math, by the way. Eventually, I'd like Brackenberg or somebody like them to be sending fruits. Oh wow, actually he can send another thing. Holy mama. Of course you send the herbs. 109 herbs. That is a ludicrous number of herbs. Actually ludicrous. I could reseed this to something else like fruit or cotton and hopefully get more of that as a return. I will definitely focus on that in the next episode, as good lord, I didn't think I would get to this point in this right here. I thought that I would still be struggling to get my own region, and by the grace of Krator, who we're now actually supporting, because for some reason their religious aspect, I feel like the menus are off, because normally you can tell them they only have access to this, but for some reason all of these guys still exist and they're not choosing to access shrines. I could theoretically put a shrine for each one of them throughout the city. The opposition would go up. When I look at their environment as well, this is another thing I noticed. Climate. Climate here says they have 50% view of it. They're not happy with the climate they're living in. If I go here, it says they love warm, hot summers. They're not a fan of temperate, and they do not like the cold. So in this region, we're not temperate. If I look at our neighboring regions, Novaster, he is warm. Magician, warm. Horinger, warm. So for some reason, Lizard Empire here is not warm, and they are not happy about that climate. One of those ridiculous things I think that just happens in this game that really frustrates me, but it is definitely a big reason as to why my environment has been down, because fish is up. We have a lot of fish, and for example, enemy kills. I killed some enemies in my combat experience, a few guys, not a lot, but it didn't even pop up a little bit. So unless you need to kill like 10,000 guys, I have no clue. Trees, pillars, and statues are self-explanatory. Sweet water, lighting, and noise. Pretty self-explanatory, although the noise is another thing that kind of frustrates me. If I was to look, it says that this is not in their range, but because they have to walk through the noise, it makes them unhappy. They don't live in the noise, but it's because they simply have to be near the noise that annoys them. So I've been trying to figure out how I can boost their happiness and their popularity with me, especially as a ruler, because they do not like me. They are almost constantly at odds. If you look, that's a 0.2 on the services. I don't know why. I have genuinely no clue what is going on at half the points in this game, because this is what I normally have. Lavatories, markets, bathhouse. I even have a bathhouse. I have a tavern, which they're not using. So we have a tavern all the way, where is it? Over here. They aren't using it, and that's true to the other versions of the game I've played where they just simply do not ever go to taverns, ever. They're not even drinking alcohol. I don't have access to them to have drinks. So, for some reason, that just happens. They don't go there. Physicians and barbers are going to be my next obvious goal, because I'd like to get the services up to at least 50 for all of them. Taverns included, grand arenas eventually. Technology, in terms of technology, I went and I got the upgrade. So I got the advanced improved laboratory. Then I got the paper making bonus. I needed to get fishery, and I also boosted my hunting capabilities, and I got bowmanship. So archery is a thing that we can focus on now. As mentioned, I need to go and probably get a physician. It's about 1,500. Actually, that's the hospital. The physician is the next one. So we'll definitely need to get a physician in there to boost their happiness on that level. And hopefully get the people back on my side, because for the entire duration of this last 2 episodes, they have just not liked me. They really do not like me. And it's weird because most, if not all of them, are becoming native. So 1/4 of our population is native. Though I think that quarter of the population actually likes my ruling. The rest are really not happy. And I think that the services are low at 0.2 because at my population level, they expect more. I think they expect a barber. I think they expect a few other things. But if I look, barbers cost 2,750. This costs 1,500. That is extremely exorbitant early game, especially when you need to focus on things like fishing. You need to focus on things like hunting. I had to get all these other technologies, including this one. But I think that the paper making and having Brackenberg here, Lizardberg, they will be sending goods to me. And since I've been talking, there's already 30 new people. So the target population will grow. Potentially, I may need to put an army there. Let's check it. Do I have conscripts? I do not have a planned army. We have access to 0 conscripts are in our realm. I think that's just due to the fact that there is a very small population of people over here. I think realistically, I could probably remove all of these other races, prosecute them, or exile/massacre them. I'm not quite sure that would be the best in my best interest. As you can see, there are current 33 Amevians. The target is 221. They're not like Garthimi, where I can put down a humidifier and grow them via that. You can see the region capacity and the loyalty goes up for them. Amevians don't have that. So in order to actually grow a area, I need the other races, unfortunately. As much as I'd like to remove them. You can see this is actually ruled by Garthimi for some reason. Why is it showing a Garthimi face? Freaking assholes. Regardless, I feel a little salty because it's just so strange. Sometimes the services can just be such a detriment to you. And there's nothing on here that's really negative. They're not like down below 50, 50, 50, 50. But they still really are unhappy about those services. They're going back to normal. But something along those lines really upset them. And I don't know what it is. I really have no clue. So that is just one of the pains in my ass for this series so far. Back to the city. I know I was showing stuff. We have a paper maker. We have, what is that? 50 houses for slaves, and that they need to actually be assigned to this housing here. We have that for slaves. These Cretonians will live here, and they will go live and work at the cotton farms and the herb farms. As we're going to be getting 100 herbs per shipment, I don't think I'm going to need them very long. We also have expanded 2 more laboratories, and we upgraded them. We changed our temples, or our shrines, over to Shrine to Krators. So they're all shrines to Krator now. My thought being that eventually I might actually want those boosts. Adhere is not really that important, and they don't seem to give a shit about Adhere. They have a very small section of the population that likes Adhere. We have our hunter, which I boosted. It was making 12, now it's making 18. They get 1.5 per haul per guy. So pretty decent, pretty decent. And we've got our little warehouse here. Carpenter making warhammers, tailor making the leather armor, and then we have the ration maker. He's making rations. We have more rations than we could ever know what to do with. And he's using the herbs that we're getting delivered, or eventually he'll be getting them. We just upgraded this, so we're not going to get some for a little bit. But we'll be getting fish and herbs directly here so we can make rations, solving our food problem, solving our military problems on one behalf. This here is a big load off my back because if I look, they're one of the more expensive ones. So I can close this now and I don't need to purchase anymore. Clothing, it's kind of expensive, 188. And drinks, not too bad. So we're keeping up there. I've been dipping and diving. I've been at 100k, 150k, then I'll drop down to 50k. A lot of that money was spent on iron to get the paper maker and upgrade all my pumps. The smelter, he's doing a decent job, but he's just not keeping up with it. So I think I definitely need to focus on getting some more iron production. There's some directly right there. And I did mention that in the last one. And the last and the most important part is our 6 new Amevian hatcheries. I covered that when I covered it in the start. And a pottery too. We have a little pottery and a new fishery. But these guys, each one is making 12. So 12 times 6 should be, what, 72, I think? If my math's correct, I'm kind of dumb. So that is a lot of babies coming in and out, and then we have the other 30 or so, 36 here, for a total of 100 some odd guys. It's perfect. 90 something. I think. Nope, no, it should be 100. Regardless, there is a lot of babies coming along, and it looks good. For the next episode, I have a lot of plans. We still might take out Magician. He is just a little tougher than I had expected. I kind of sent a skirmisher out there and realized that he had an army of 200 and some odd guys, and I retreated. I lost 10 troops, but I'd rather lose 10 than an entire division of 50 guys who've been well trained. So we're going to try to get more up there. We have an 8% chance of being raided, so not too high. But the main priority and problem is getting these guys out of the fisheries, out of this area, and into the army. They take up a lot of space, and they take up a lot of workers. You can see between all of them, half or a quarter of my guys are basically working in fisheries. And I gotta change that. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in more content. I'm almost to 1,000, and you'll be helping me out immensely. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.